All right, let's check the sound. How's the sound going before I start? Give me just a second. No, come on. Is there that much of a delay? Oh, there is quite a lot of delay, yeah? Okay, but yeah, it's confirmed the sound is working fine, so we can start. So, my name is Hightech, of course, for those that don't know, and on this live streams I talk about what just happened today in the cryptocurrency market, what I think about it regarding 11 years of my experience. And I also, in between the lines, explain what high-tech meme coin is. In the bottom section of the screen, you see the mint address of it. It's a Solana meme coin. And I think you might be interested. So yeah, let's start. This is a skiing and let's go. So here we flip the screen and we can commence. Everything is going well here too. So, okay, guys, if you have, like I said, if you have any questions, write me in the live chat. I live stream in two formats on YouTube. I will be checking it often if there is anything here. So, yeah, fairly quick. I should be able to respond to you. So, yeah, the title of this live stream is "Oh no, it's bad. It's bad." But what is bad really? When we look at Bitcoin chart, we see that today's daily is in red, as you see. When we look under a little bit greater resolution, so smaller time frame, you see we had a little bit of a sell-off today. I mean this part here. But you may have remembered that I'm in a trade on Bitcoin since 110,684 USDT, and it's still in profit, plus 3.28%. Of course, it was slightly higher just prior to that, but yeah, it's more or less the same. I mean, it's still nothing's really spectacular, especially for you know the class of volatility that crypto has. So yeah, as always, crypto influencers, especially those coming from mainstream, jump on the bandwagon and post very dramatic titles left and right. For example, go over, if we go over to here, as you see, this is Chris from M Crypto. Once again, he says Bitcoin. Something smells very fishy here, right? So he is trying to convince you that a greater probability is for some downward move from here. The question is what downward move is, because here you should put yourself a special glasses that explain you that remove price action noise from the picture. You must have those special lenses that allow you to distinct, right, what is a real exaggeration. I mean, what move really matters and what is within the norm, right? Because here those swings that we can observe are much greater than pretty much everywhere else. Like for example, on forex trading. Nowadays, I like, let's say 5 years ago, I would say in stocks, but nowadays it's not that much different, to be honest. I mean, the volatility in the stock market has come very close to what we can observe in cryptos. But yeah, nonetheless, you must grow a thick skin and not to get scared with whatever whatever move up or move down this market gives you after you entered in a position. So yeah, as of now, I don't think there is anything that you should be worried about. We have a very normal class of volatility, slowly moving upwards, swinging, waving, same as we always do when we follow up, when we go up for those, next all-time highs, which we probably get again because, S&P 500 just today opened very high. It gave us another all-time highs. And then as you see, it followed with the upturn very strongly. It continued the upturn very strongly and gave us one of the most bullish closes of today's trading session I've seen in a while. I mean, when last time we had a close bullish like this one? Like we literally almost closed that all-time high, right? The prior 15-minute candle was literally the all-time high, and the one which was closing the trading session closed very, very close, right? So yeah, the TradFi market is definitely not scared. By the way, I wonder how gold is doing because of that. Probably is having a little bit of a selling pressure here. Yeah, slightly. Yeah. When we look on the daily, let's take a look on the daily. Yeah. After I just have seen S&P in what manner it closed, that is literally what I expected to see on the gold chart. This is of course tokenized gold on Binance, PAXG, but I think you can find it on more exchanges rather than only Binance. Rupial said hi. Okay. Hi Rupial. If you've got any questions regarding current situation of the crypto market, of course, don't hesitate. Ask me whatever you want. As I've written here in the comment, hit me with a question or ask for some advice. Make use of this opportunity, right? I'm someone who has soon is going to be over 11 years of experience. Is it already full 11 years? Yeah, I think so. I think it will be full 11 years of experience by now. So I committed all of mistakes you could think of in this space. So, and as you see, I'm still here. I'm good and I'm kicking. So I probably can clarify one thing or two for you guys. Sir, you are a veteran. Yeah, I think you can call me that. I think it's not an exaggeration. Although, to be honest, I don't feel that OG as you may think. Why? Because, in 2015, when I arrived to the scene, I mean, it was already like 6 years of Bitcoin's existence, and price was already, far, far away from where it all started, when it all started. I was buying my first Bitcoins for like $400, and it started at like, a few cents, a cent maybe in USD. So yeah, I really don't have that feeling of being an OG. But if I see someone who arrived after me, then I definitely I definitely consider him or her a newbie, right? If I, let's say, talk about somebody who came to the space in 2019, 2018, 2020, I mean, to me, those guys are freshmen, to be honest. So yeah, it's a little bit funny from that perspective. Don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe if you haven't done so. That's really, really bad. That's really bad. That's bad manners. That's really bad manners. If you're watching, if you're consuming this content, you definitely should give a like. This is a growing channel, and yeah, it's, to be honest, on English YouTube is quite difficult to get through, because I ran this channel more or less for 3 years already, with pauses, because at times I was just getting mad at it why YouTube was not showing my content. I run two YouTube channels. One I run in my mother tongue, which is Polish, and that one does really well. But the English one, my God, YouTube was not showing it at all to anybody for the first year. So it was practically wasted. I'm not sure what is the experience of other content creators outside from Anglo-Saxon countries. Is it the same? If it is, then it's an absolute nightmare, to be honest. But I'm a very stubborn guy, so I'll make it big anyway. Is it worth trading with ICT concepts? I currently finished the whole concept, but I am still not much profitable. I've expected more and more. Any suggestions for me? ICT concepts. I'm not sure what you are talking about here, to be perfectly honest, but I can give you a couple of advices. First, avoid trading on leverage. Leverage will always get you broke, because the margin of error that is given to you on futures market is so thin. The ice is so thin that you will have to fall into a cold water. There's no way around it. I have my own systems that do trading. I written those systems. I written the algorithms that they use. I created this strategy. I use it already for long years, since 2018, late 2017, early 2018, and I've been profitable pretty much every single year. And but it struck me fairly quickly that you must stay away from futures market, because when you calculate it, what should be possible, what kind of earnings should be possible on futures market, and then you derive a compound interest from it, then it quickly comes to your realization that it is absolutely impossible. I mean, if you're of, let's say, average IQ, you should realize it's absolutely impossible. Like, for example, on futures market, 1% of profit per day seems reasonable, right? The problem is, if you compound 1% every single day for 365 days, that means out of $1,000, you should be able to make $37,000 first year, right? So that sounds like a little bit too much, and that's a very solid hint that it is practically impossible. Because then, if you go and derivate how much money you're supposed to make even the next year, then the number becomes so big that is absurd. And then if you keep derivating and pass it on to even the next year, then we come to a number that is literally larger than all of the dollars in the whole universe, accounting for, I don't know, additional dimensions and timelines, right? So that quickly explains you how mind tricking, that let's say promise of futures market is. It's literally a casino. So you must stay with the spot market if you want to make it anyhow sustainable. And I know this is a soul crushing message for most of other people, but that is mainly because they do not realize how much money can be made on spot market, right? You can really absolutely crush it with the spot market. You don't need to use futures market to actually, make sizable gains. Is okay. Rupial says it's based on smart money concept. How much leverage ratio should be? Yeah, leverage, no leverage. RuPL, zero leverage. You should never use leverage because that tightens the margin of error. I mean, look at last Friday, what happened. I mean, not last Friday, sorry. Friday 10th, what happened. Even if you were using very, very small leverage on Friday 10th, when you were longing, which actually you should you should had um, you should be in a long position back then because the entire market structure on the weekly, on the daily was very promising. So that was the right thing to do. So even if you were using really, really conservative leverage, you would still get wiped out, right? So, so Friday 10th, I think, demonstrated more than anything else that no kind of leverage is safe because the moment the liquidation point hits, your money gets taken away, and that cannot be. On spot market, it all recovered. You could see it very clearly. It was way overblown, and all you had to do was to wait a little bit for the market to recover, to bounce back up, and then yeah, if you were really scared, you could sell at a loss, but that wasn't as big as it was, let's say, displayed, right? It was presented in those most drastic moments. Some of the coins went literally minus 99%, right? But after it bounced back up, and you exited shortly after, let's say, that biggest move. I mean, you were suffering maybe 20% losses, 30% losses, but nowhere close to minus 99 or minus 90, 95 or anything among those lines. So yeah, that was a very good lesson for anybody who is still using leverage or who used leverage that day. The only thing that protects you from mistakes like that is the spot market, right? Spot market forgives you quite a lot. And if you're not an absolute killer and you don't have, I don't know, a holy grail of trading, some sort of an algorithm that is a holy grail of trading, then you should collect small advantages here and there, all of them that are available, and use them for your trading. And one of those advantages is all of the mechanics of spot market, where you have nothing like a liquidation point, right? So that favorites you. The fact that there is no liquidation point, that's the strong part of spot market, and that's why you should be using it. And anyway, listen, if your precision of trading is as high that you stay afloat trading leverage, then again, there is no reason for you to be trading leverage because you will make shitloads of money trading spot anyway. And I know that this is a big shift for many of you, big mental shift here, because this space has been promoting leverage trading for long years already, since 2017 actually, and advertising it as a almost certain way to get rich once you have enough of experience and, I don't know, make a course or two, but that's bullcrap. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's bullcrap. You will never be able to make, if you're not a market maker, you will never be able to make sustainable profit on the leverage market sooner or later. Even if you have a nice streak, let's say, of wins, sooner or later you'll have to give it back. So yeah, that's the way it is. So I'm observing fairly closely, of course, Bitcoin dominance now, because guys, I expect it to break down from here like this and I expect it to complete this inverse Adam and Eve formation. And so far so good. I mean, at some point it looked like this mother cracker will be able to continue this uptrend. But then as you see, this daily candle got reduced, got smacked in the mouth. And now it looks more like we are continuing with the Eve part of this formation, which is this rounding top. And yeah, that's what I want to see. Altcoins, let's take a look at altcoins. Early morning, it was a much better view, of course, than right now, but it's still not that bad, to be honest. I mean, there is some coins that fell slightly in an overreaction. I say, like for example, Digo minus 44%. That's an exaggeration, that's for sure. But some are pumping, like for example, Trump. And by the way, I have a trade in Trump coin, and that trade is doing quite well. Would I be like in plus 20? Plus 18, okay. I thought it was like plus 20%. So yeah. Plus 18%. And given how hard this coin has been pushed back, has been suppressed, I think it's about to finally get its first bull market, to be honest. And not only this one, I mean, generally speaking, the altcoin market, right? The altcoin market will kick off its bull market in upcoming days, not even weeks, days. Because right now we are in the most bullish part of the year. The end of October, beginning of November, that's literally the most bullish few days in a year in this market. So it must start literally within days, right? I think this is the beginning of it. Some people can still, let's say, see it and consider it a fake pump or a sacred rally or something like that. And I think it's going to be a bear trap, a really sizable bear trap. Because, from traditional side of global finance, we cannot have, better clearance on what is coming next. Right? Jerome Powell already said they will be just printing. They don't care about inflation anymore. They will be just printing. TradFi wants to switch over to stablecoins. That's as bullish as it gets. You will not get anything any more bullish ever again. That's literally the top of the hill. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to experience a mega rally, and it's really hard to predict now when the cycle is gonna end. To be honest, I think that's the biggest problem now. Now it's starting for altcoins because altcoins have not seen their respective bull market yet. The bull market took place on a handful of coins. Most of the market stayed aside, completely aside. But now it will happen. Now it will happen in the altcoin market, and like I said, with this environment, with this ambient, it's very difficult to tell how long it's going to last. But this is not going to end this year. It's not going to start this year, and it's not going to end this year. I start to think we have to look at 2027. To be perfectly honest, I don't think it will run out of steam in 2026. I mean, we'll have, of course, large corrections here and there, but the final top, I start to think more and more it will happen in 2027, not even in 2026. So yeah, and that could be very surprising to most of you. Mahid Baratzadek said hi. Why you guys write said hi? Where you guys come from? Because you write it slightly weird. I mean, that's uncommon to write said hi. Usually just write hi. So that's interesting. because you guys like Rupial and Mahdi, you guys must be from the same region because you have written exactly the same. For your greeting is exactly the same. So now you give me curiosity. Where you guys from? So if you can respond, if you can respond in the chat, that would be cool. And by the way, I see there is quite a good visibility of the live stream right now on YouTube because it shows 78 views. That's very decent. Usually I try to live stream until it's 100. And recent days I did not succeed because after like almost 2 hours it was at around 50. So I just threw in the towel. But today I see YouTube is on fire for whatever reason. But that's cool. So yeah, many coins will see pumps, great pumps. Charmcoin definitely will not give back all of this pump, and if it gives back this pump, it will follow with another one much bigger shortly after. But that would be weird if it pumped like this and then just gave it all back. That would be slightly weird. But yeah, this market will not be able to sustain prices this low for much longer. I mean, it's been how long? 3 years, 4 years of a bear market for like 75% of altcoins listed on Binance. That's a lot of price suppression, to be honest. And generally that is what markets do, right? Whenever certain majority does, let's say, something efficient, executes a strategy that is overall quite efficient, the market will try to take them into the deep waters, right? And trick them into thinking what they do is wrong. Yeah, I'm talking about DCA, right? Because DCA on majority of the market usually will work with few exceptions. I mean, some altcoins, do go to zero. So that is why it's you can still lose money doing DCA and never recover it. I even tell you more. Over time, most of altcoins will go to zero. So that's why you cannot forget about taking profits whenever your coin pumps. But yeah, that has been the education of market participants here for long years. So that is literally for everyone and their mother are applying. But that would mean the majority of the market must win. And that is not how it works. This is a zero-sum game. Market always makes sure not any more than 1% of market participants remain as winners. So in order to achieve that, like back in the day, DCA was quite efficient. It was quite a good way to, let's say, to build up your portfolio, the value of your portfolio over time. But if majority does that, then the market has no other choice like extend and extend and extend until enough of people capitulate and then pump, right? And that's literally market mechanics, what mandates it. If you know exactly, you know exactly the details of how order book works, what conditions, um, promote what market behaviors, then it becomes fairly obvious. At times, market has no other choice like to prolong and extend into way beyond was seen up until now or up until recently to grant cyclicality and the same effects that can be observed over decades, right? Rushil Johar says FLR. I don't know what that is. And another Roshri Johar said hi. Guys, you don't write said hi, you write hi. No, you don't write said hi. So you guys are from the same place. That's interesting. I wonder where I'm visible with this channel right now, because I'm clearly visible in certain geographical location, because you guys, all of you, write in the same fashion. If you are not bots, of course, because you could be bots. But I mean, judging by what Rupial has written, I guess at least he is not a bot. So yeah, the guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and also have awareness that my live streams serve to promote my meme coin, which is called High Tech. This is exactly it. This is a very small market here, just 63 holders, and this is very early days of it. This is the only project I promote on all of my social media, hence it translates to kind of a stock market of my social media, right? So like you literally can invest in my social media through this meme coin. So that's a very interesting concept. I think I'm the first crypto influencer that does something like this, and I'm 100% it will be copied thousands of times over after I grow this market into a noticeable size, like globally. Right now it's very microscopic because it's factual liquidity, or actually capitalization is equals to liquidity, which is 25k. That's literally nothing. So yeah, but of course I warn you not to overinvest. Get yourself $1 worth, $2 worth, $3 worth, something that you can hold for a long time and you can even forget about, right? Because the main problem with people investing is that they all overinvest. They expect results too fast, they overinvest, and they do not give themselves a comfort of time. And that is literally why most of people ends up in a loss. So you grant yourself a position of strength if you do not have to liquidate your allocation, right? If you can wait for things to go your way. Rushil Johar says, your opinion on Filecoin? To be honest, same as on anything else, because markets. I mean, the altcoin market moves. All of the coins move almost together, with few exceptions here and there. So everything will grow now. Everything will go up. Harder, harder or not, but it will pretty much all move together, one direction. One a little bit harder than the other, but nonetheless, much higher than the prices we can see now. So yeah, but let's take a look actually at this one. Like if Filecoin is this one, to be honest, I like what I see here. Why? Because it looks absolutely terrible. And this coin looks like it's going to zero, and it is exactly the kind of advice I've been giving to people, like do not invest in altcoins that are railing and have a sizable rally already behind their backs. Just look away. From those, look away. Search for something that looks like it's going to freaking zero. And Filecoin, if this is Filecoin, I think it is. It looks exactly like that. Yeah, am I right? Filecoin? Yeah, Filecoin, yeah, it's this one. Feel, yeah. So yeah, I think you should be throwing something at it right now. But never go all in. Because to go all in is a very silly thing to do, to be honest, because you don't give yourself any position of strength, any choice if this thing goes even lower, because it always can go lower. So you cannot do anything with that situation anymore. You cannot average in at lower prices. That's why it's better to invest even 25% of what you initially planned to invest, because this way you give yourself a position of strength if the trade goes against you, right? It's very, very important to control your greed. And I know it's difficult, it's very difficult, but once you master it, it will pay you big. It will pay you big time. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you watch it right now, if you watch it live, because otherwise you will lose it. I live stream every single day, recently even twice a day. So if you like this format, if you like the way I run this channel, right, then yeah, then I'm guessing you want to subscribe to it. And yeah, and if you want to be invested in this channel, you can, right, through my meme coin, through Hitech. You can literally be invested in this channel. So whenever I get any kind of income coming from, let's say, YouTube, it will go here. It will go into this chart. So that's a very, very interesting deal that I'm proposing here. Roshi Johar asks, will Falcon be successful? To be honest, I don't know. I don't even know what this coin does, because it doesn't matter. Like, for example, my system trades well over 200 coins for me. 99% of them I have no idea what they are. What's their narrative, what they're about. I don't need to know. It makes zero sense to me for me to know, to be honest. What I want to know about whatever coin is what class of volatility its price chart has, right? Does it pump? Does it crashes? I want it to go up and down in huge swings, right? And then I like the coin. Like, for example, this one from the bottom to the top, 254%. Here from the bottom to the top, 140. So yeah, for example, this one, I don't even have to check it, because this coin, I have traded it with my systems. I already know it made me money, right? Because it had many pumps lasting well over 100% each. So I already know this coin made me money. I don't even have to log into the system and look at what results this trading pair was giving me. But from investor's perspective, like I said, if you don't have fully automated trading system with sophisticated, let's say, momentum detecting algorithm, from investor's perspective, you want to throw something at coins that look like they are going to zero. You don't want to invest in those that already had a rally, because the odds for them to get stopped out in a way, the odds are just too high for it, right? You want to buy the bottoms and sell the tops. And if a given coin is going down, then probably you're getting closer to bottom, right? If the coin is going up, then probably it's going closer to a top, right? So you don't want to buy the tops. You want to buy the bottoms. So if you want to buy the bottoms, you must be paying attention to the coins that are trending down. So at least theoretically, you will get something in the vicinity of a bottom. Simple as that, right? I think it's quite logical. So yeah. How long have I been live streaming here? 40 minutes, wow. 40 minutes and 122 views. That's impressive, to be honest. I'm satisfied. Today I'm satisfied. Yeah, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because I'm a professional. I've been doing it for 11 years. I'm a full-time crypto for like 10 years, I think. I think I will not lie if I say I'm full-time crypto since 10 years. And yeah, I will not be bullcrapping you, right? Like everybody else, because unfortunately, what other influencers propose you is a deal that goes against your interest. Like, for example, they give you ref links, so you log into the derivatives exchange and trade on futures. They make the most money when you get liquidated. If you don't believe me, go to the table of fees, trading fees of the exchange, and take a look at what event the exchange charges you the most, right? Because they have a split, right? Those influencers, they have a split from trading fees, or they have some let's say deal on trading fees, right? So take a look where at what event the exchange charges you the most. Let me tell you, let me front run it and tell you, they charge you the most at liquidation. So that means whenever you are liquidated, the guy that offered you a ref link to exchange gets the most money. So what is his incentive in this moment, right? He'll probably telling you about over leveraging, and he will offer you or advise you to open a trade that probably will result in your liquidation, right? So just have that in mind, because that's literally his or hers, let's say, incentive vector, right? So whenever somebody is proposing you something for free, you must make sure that their interest aligns with your interest. And that's why, for example, in my case, this thing here, we go one direction, right? Because the more this one grows here, the more I benefit, the more you benefit, right? We join forces. The more my YouTube channel grows, the more I can throw out this one here. The more this one here grows, the more I become popular. So everything is looped, right? Looped, and it's thought the way each side fuels up the other one. So yeah. Okay, what else can I talk about here? Let me take a look at crypto fear and greed index. What level we've got on CoinMarketCap. Yeah, this one obviously hasn't changed since the last time I did a live stream. It was like several hours ago. 4D2 is at 4D2, which is already in neutral level, but still quite low. Altcoin season index at 27, very low. Let me tell you. What about liquidations? 110 on Ethereum, 60 on Bitcoin. Here we actually should observe a decline because of what happened on Friday 10th. After Friday 10th, volumes on derivatives exchanges should go down, meaning people finally lost all of the money. They cannot trade on derivatives exchanges anymore. Therefore, they cannot incentivize market makers to make the price action irregular, because the more people trade on the derivatives exchanges, the more market makers are engaged into liquidating them. But because they liquidate them, they make a very choppy price action, right, on the spot market, because they chase that liquidity. So once there is nobody to trade on derivatives exchanges, the only way market makers can make money in that situation is on spot, and on spot you can make money only one way, which is up, right? You must pump the market in order to make any money out of it. So that is why Friday 10th, let's say, completes my theory, makes my case even stronger from mechanical standpoint, right? From the point of view of market mechanics, how it all aligns mathematically, right? How it adds up. So yeah, guys, share, like, and subscribe. If you haven't done so, share, like, and subscribe. And like I said, think about throwing something like $1 or two, something small at high tech. You will find the link to a tutorial in the description section of this live stream. If you are curious, it's very actually it's very easy to do. And yeah, but just don't go too big. I think like $1 or two will do just fine. Unless I don't know, unless you really can afford larger amount of money and you're 100% sure you will let it sit for a year, two or three, then that's a different story. But I rather advise most of the people to throw something microscopic at it, so for sure they will forget about it, and then after a while, after a couple of years, they will get hugely surprised. So yeah, okay, let's go over to my X timeline. Let's see what's new since last time I live streamed. My coffee got cold. Billionaire and Pantera Capital CEO just revealed that the UAE is mining and buying a lot of Bitcoin. I think they are mining primarily. I'm sure if they are buying that much. But let me tell you, mining has an incredible use case that most of you guys are completely not aware of. And that is storing value of electric energy. Meaning that you can have, for example, a mining rig somewhere where there is no access to power grid, but you can have solars, let's say. You can have a spot which is absolutely perfect for harvesting solar energy, but there is no power grid anywhere nearby. So what you can do then is you can mine Bitcoin with that solar energy, meaning that you generate value in form of Bitcoin, and then you sell it on exchange, right? So you're harvesting energy and storing the value in Bitcoin, right? That's a mind-blowing application, to be honest. In a couple of countries they do it already. So that's a very, very strong use case, to be honest. And most of the people they have no idea that such thing even exists. Breaking: Wintermute is sending millions of USDT and USDC to exchanges right now. What do they want to buy? Wintermute is one of those market makers that are blamed for a lot of bad things that have happened in the crypto market throughout last, I don't know, 2 years. But yeah, since they're sending USDT and USDC, then probably they are going to scoop up some altcoins. That's what I predict will happen. I'm telling you guys, be ready for a huge altcoin season, way bigger than you expected. And I know and I understand that some of you guys can get mad at me when I say that because of what has been going on for the last 3 or maybe even 4 years in some cases. I perfectly understand that, but know that it happened because too many people was doing DCA on their favorite coins. That was the reason. Because they were applying, too many people were applying DCA on the market. So the market had to take all of them into the deep water and prove them whatever they do is wrong, right? Because market's job, primarily job, is to make only 1% of the market winning the game. All of the rest must lose. Don't be wrong. Huge. President Trump says he may announce a new Federal Reserve chair by year end, replacing Jerome Powell. Yeah, but he cannot really replace Jerome Powell because Federal Reserve is a private bank. It's a bank. It's not even a federal branch. That's the weirdest thing ever, but it is what it is. Bitcoin archive. Trump family's American Bitcoin now holds 3,865 Bitcoin worth $446 million. Ah, interesting. Dubai was the first city in the UAE to accept Bitcoin. More adoption is coming. To be honest, you go to Dubai, it will be very difficult for you to find anyone who accepts Bitcoin. I don't know why they even say that. I've been trying to order something from Dubai, import certain things from Dubai. I was searching for merchants that accept crypto in general, even stable coins, right? I mean, forget about Bitcoin because Bitcoin is much more difficult to accept than stable coins. So I was mainly searching for somebody who would be willing to accept stables. Nobody wanted. So I don't know where they get that from. And I was contacting many people. I mean, it wasn't two or three or four. I contacted like, I don't know, 50 or 60 merchants. None of them wanted to accept any sort of cryptocurrency. So yeah, it's not like they tell you on X, unfortunately. But that will change because TradFi will make the world to know about stablecoins, to accept stablecoins, because it will allow them to make much more money. And the only way of saving US dollar is to actually move the whole system onto blockchain, right? On stablecoins. So yeah, Jim Cramer. I don't believe Bitcoin can reach $500,000, let alone 1 million. That's improbable. Okay, so you know where we are going by now. Jim Cramer is literally the best inverse indicator of all time. Of all time, he's the gold. The gold. He's the best. So yeah, Bitcoin will probably get $1 million per coin. That's literally his blessing. He gave us his blessing. Whatever this guy says, the opposite happens. Joe dropping bombshell alert. Amazon snatching crypto geniuses for a mind-blowing 400k a year. You won't believe what's next. That could be a rumor. I will see. Unless they grew awareness what TradFi wants to do, that they want to move to stablecoins. If that's the case, then yes, then it will be real. You see, the UK is pushing to finish stablecoin rules by next year. You see what I'm saying? Because the guys from above tell the politicians to hurry up because they want to make money. So my prediction is that within 2 years, you will go to a local supermarket and you will be able to pay in stablecoins for your groceries. No matter if you are in Europe, United States, I don't know, Canada, Middle East, I don't know, India, parts of Africa, that is coming within 2 years. I'm 100% sure of it. In 2 years, it will be widely adopted. And that's great because that means no walls anymore in between the salary of average Joe and altcoins or meme coins. So yeah. Okay, guys, allow me to wrap it up right here. I'm very satisfied with how this live stream has been going. 163 views. That's definitely very decent. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to throw something at Hightech, the only meme coin I promote here, because this is, let's say, indirect stock market of this YouTube channel. I will remain promoting only this project, nothing else. You will never see me promoting any other project. So I'm stuck with it. I'm in the package, literally. I don't think you can find any other meme coin that has an influencer in the package, especially with the 11 years of experience in the crypto market. So whatever business offer I'll get, coming from the side of this YouTube channel and my other YouTube channel, it will have to pass through this market here, right? So they will have to buy this token up and burn it, and then I will proceed with whatever let's say guidance or advisory, or that sort of stuff. So that's why this is a very unique proposition. I don't think anybody else has tried something like this, and this will be a blueprint for other influencers how to actually do it and benefit not only themselves but also their viewers. This is a completely new, let's say, economical model. So yeah, thank you.